traveled for a bit, although Cassius was not very familiar with this type of terrain, going into it deeper. You guys came across this almost elongated stretch of just fleshy mass, where you guys were going to go around it after some debate, until Uriel sent his axe beak, Choco, into this fleshy mass to see what would happen in a sense, and it was consumed. After going into and fighting this creature off, you guys realized that it attacked the carriage, and your two horses, including Barhan's one that he had bought way back, were consumed by this creature before you guys were able to defeat it. But you carried on, opting not to take a short rest. Deer was blinded by the sun because owls are not good in daylight. But you guys continued to make it until you found this area with this billowing smoke around, and you saw Vamul, who was forced to be on wagon duty with some of the animals that Uriel had pulled out of his bag, kind of engulfed in this black smoke and not even able to see him. And then you noticed as it engulfed you, Vamul being left alone with this almost elemental figure just looming out of this black smoke. You guys went into combat. People were almost died. Barhan had a 50% chance of killing Uriel by accident, but you were able to fend off the creature. Very close, but you guys then took a long rest, where you guys heard strange rumbling off in the distance at that night, as those of you who stayed up, mostly quick, noticed that little bits of puddles that were on the ground and other small loose rocks and other terrain, and even her water skin, were ever so slightly vibrating, almost like a small earthquake was going through. And you heard almost a trumpet off in the distance that was almost ear-splitting, that woke up everybody. But as you guys started to make your way out, the next morning you noticed a footprint that was about 25 feet long, that Vamul had to pull the carriage through. But you guys, Barhan decided to tell Uriel about the coin and what he was asked to do. Mainly because Uriel and Cassius both overheard Barhan talking that night. The next night, Quick, also noticing that she was kind of sitting on top of the wagon, a massive flying creature going overhead, spanning from beak to tail, maybe 100 to 120 feet long, that soared overhead and left a feather that was about 6 feet tall. You guys decided to put this feather on top of the carriage and continue the move to try and deal with some of the damage from your previous encounters. You eventually found a small shack in what looked to be a giant skull that someone had made home, where you met a little bit of a deranged gnome who warned you about some of the dangers. While doing so, you guys noticed a creature massive started to appear as you guys decided to take cover in this house under a little underground passage. But you guys got a little information about some of the creatures that roam these areas, mainly the Tuscadon, who you guys noticed outside after Cassius putting away the smoke that was keeping the creature away, sniffing around your carriage, and completely picking it up at one point. But luckily no damage, and the feather was just taken off of it. But you guys continued, Cassius and Barhan having a bit of a game of a back and forth between each other. Lots of truths being told and lots of information delved. Even the betrayal of Hugh and Uriel to an extent in their eyes, but to each their own. I believe that is where we left off.
Yeah, I believe we're on our way out. We were loading up the carriage.
So, Cassius, you're driving?
Yeah. Barahan. We need to talk. In fact, I think we all need to talk.
Okay.
I understand that what you're doing here is important to you. But personally, I just feel like, well, this just isn't worth it, really. I have things that I need to do. And when I asked for your guys' help in doing this, I wasn't expecting this. I understand that this mission is very important to you. I get it. Trust me, I do. Probably more than anybody else here. But I think we need to move around.
I think I also can agree with that. I don't want another. I'm gonna look towards Uriel and Bummel. I don't want another water temple.
As much as I do want to help out and get Galleon back into where he should be, we do have a habit of getting ourselves into situations we can't handle.
I
Say
agree.
that one again.
Yeah, I don't want to be reviving Uriel every 5 minutes after every attack.
Since